You experience in this reality what matches your frequency. On this video, I'm going to show you 5 things that if you give up right now, you raise your vibration instantly. The first one is to let go of the past. Well, basically, our brain processes every little detail that we experience during a day. And there are some experiences that provokes a great deal of emotional responses. And this causes a block for our brain to process that information. And we might find ourselves thinking about it for hours, for days, or even for months. These kinds of information causes energetic blockages in our body. Imagine you broke up with your partner years ago and that experience was so painful for you that it engaged great deals of emotions in your body. And now 7 years has passed and you went through it. You don't think about it that much, but every time that you hear their name or you see the car similar to theirs, all of those emotions come up and you start thinking about it. These kinds of experiences means that you haven't processed that emotions that are connected with that memory. So now you have these blockages in your body that lowers your vibration. And for you to raise your vibration, you need to let go of the past. You need to let go of the emotions and the thoughts that are associated with this memory. Many times in our life, we might think that we have moved on from an experience because we don't think about it that much. But the thing is, every time that it comes up, it still creates these emotional responses in our body. If this happens, it means that you're still stuck in the past. And for you to raise your vibration, you need to let energy to flow in your body. And until you have these energetic blockages, energy cannot flow in your body properly. And you might ask yourself, okay, how can I let go of these emotions? This is too painful for me. The thing is, you need to feel it to heal it. You need to sit with these uncomfortable emotions and let them pass like clouds in the sky. And learn the lesson, learn what these emotions are telling you. Learn what they are calling you to do. And in this way, you detach yourself from the emotions and the thought patterns that are connected to these memory, to this experience, and you release yourself, you free yourself from the past, and now you raise your vibration naturally. Well, basically, our frequency is naturally high. It's not like that we need to do these crazy things to raise our frequency, but more like we need to let go of certain things to go back to our natural state. It's our ego, it's our shadow self that lowers our frequency in different ways. And all we need to do is get out of our own way to bring ourselves to our natural state, our natural frequency. It's all about removing any blockages, any unnecessary things that holds us back. The second thing to let go of is attachment to the outcome. Well, basically, our attachments to the outcome comes from the fear of the unknown. That our mind always tries to predict the future and control the situation so that we don't get hurt, so that we won't have to deal with a new problem. But guess what? Our brain predicts the future based on the past memories, based on the past experiences. And now we want to make a different future. But our mind is stuck in the past. And since our mind creates our reality, we are stuck in the past. But if you look at the emotional vibrational frequencies chart, you see that fear and desire are lower frequencies. And desire comes from the ego wanting to control the situation and attaching to the outcome because it fears the unknown. So now you block yourself from raising your frequency. As you know, our external reality is a reflection of our internal reality. And to create a life full of love and abundance, we need to match to that frequency. We need to be in that zone of frequency and energy to attract a life full of love and abundance. And the good news is that we are naturally high vibrational beings. All we gotta do is to get out of our own way to go back to our natural state and experience that oneness, that love, that purity, that joy and abundance that is our birthright. So now you know that it's all about matching your frequency to the frequency of love and abundance to experience all these beautiful things in your life. The next thing that you gotta let go of is people who bring you down. When you hang out with low vibrational people, you put yourself in that energetic zone. By low vibrational people, I mean those who talk down to you, those who have a narcissistic personality, or those who have a victim mentality. And now when you put yourself in that zone of energy, in that zone of frequency, your body subconsciously adjusts itself to that kind of frequency. I had this friend who I really loved, but he had a really disempowering mentality. He had this crazy victim mentality that every time that I wanted to talk to him about how he can actually empower himself, how he can be more loving to himself, he always found an excuse to say that he's a victim to his life. And although I really loved him, but I had to get a little bit of distance from him, because every time that I would hang out with him, I would somehow feel so drained. And I remember, like, he was one of my best friends, to be honest, and after a while of hanging out with him, I started to adapt these kinds of beliefs about, like, maybe we are a victim to the circumstances. And I started to realize that my self-talk has become so similar to the way he talks, because we used to hang out like a lot, and then I moved to another city and I had this time apart from him, and I realized that, oh my god, how much he affected me energetically. Now I had to stop spending time with him anymore, because not only I couldn't help him, but also he would bring me down. So this is something to think about, because when you hang out with the people who have these low vibrational emotions, you actually put yourself in that zone of energy, and after a while you see how much they affect you, like mentally, energetically, and emotionally. Around our body, there is an electromagnetic field with all the data from our emotional state and our thought patterns. And whenever we interact with other people, we exchange these information, and we are not aware of it because it happens subconsciously. The fourth thing to let go of is identifying with your thoughts. Let's do an experiment here. I want you to say hello in your mind. Can you hear it? Of course you do. Now make it shout and say hi. You can hear it, right? So who is talking here and who is listening here? Are both of these two, are they you? The answer is no, because you're the consciousness behind this voice, listening to it talking constantly. If this voice in your head shuts up, you still exist. You're still present. You're that consciousness behind this voice. So you can't be this voice in your head. You can't be your thoughts, because when your thoughts doesn't exist, you're still present. You're still there. So you can't be this voice in your head, because when this voice shuts up, you're still there. You're still in existence. you're still present because you're the consciousness behind this voice. So you can't be your thoughts. Now I've got a homework for you. I want you to listen to your thoughts, listen to this voice in your head for a day, just for one day. As soon as you wake up until you go to bed, just listen to this voice without engaging with it. Just see what it's talking about. I bet you notice these 3 things about this voice. First one, that it never shuts up. The second thing is that it talks nonsense. One moment it loves something, the next it hates it. The third thing is that it's mostly negative. It always has a problem with something. It always has a problem with the present moment. Even if you're enjoying yourself, even if you're having a really good experience, it finds something wrong with it. So if this voice never shuts up, how can we solve this problem? The thing is, it's really hard to, I'm not saying that it's impossible, but it's really hard to have a silent mind like 24/7. We're not the guru on the top of the mountain here. We're normal people having a normal life, going through different types of experiences during the day. So now all you gotta do is to simply not to identify with these thoughts, to be aware of the fact that you're the consciousness behind these thoughts, and as you observe them, and not to engage with these thoughts, and not to start like another conversation with it, and not to take it more seriously, you start to realize that it talks even less. The thing is, these thoughts controls like 90% of our life. It creates all these emotional responses, and mostly we act based on those emotional responses. So when you want to raise your frequency, all you gotta do is to be aware that this voice that is talking in your head is not you. And when you actually become aware of this fact, you detach yourself from it and you give away its power, and now your emotional state is not in the hand of these crazy talks in your head. The last thing that you gotta give up to raise your frequency is low vibrational music and low vibrational TV programs. Well, basically, whatever you feed into your subconscious mind, your brain starts to integrate when you sleep. And if all these data have a low vibrational frequency, has a low vibrational energy, when you wake up the next day, you feel so drained, you feel so tired because of the input of the information from the day before. And most of the TV programs, most of the music are made in a way to keep you in lower frequencies. But in contrast, we have like some kind of songs that can have a healing effect on you. Like some of the music with 432 hertz. Thank you so much for watching this video. Peace, much love, and namaste.